What's that noise? What are we doing today? It's Sports Talk Monday. That's right. Everybody's dancing and excited. Your starting lineup. At 7 feet tall, at center, it's Candace Harbin. At 1 forward, 6'9", it's Ayana. At point guard, in her rookie season, 6'3", it's CJ Sparks. And at the other forward, 7'3", Shannon Elizabeth. Awesome, guys. Welcome to our second, third, fourth. I can't remember. We've been doing this sports show, and I'm excited right now. Today is the Lingerie Bowl. We have a ton of stuff to talk about real quick. Let me say hi to everybody. We muted some people, unfortunately. Let's make sure they're unmuted. And Candace, how you doing this week?
I'm doing great. I just got the shower, poured me a glass of wine, and I'm ready. I love Sports Talk Monday. It's my favorite day of the week.
I'm excited that Candace decided she didn't need to wear clothes for this. Ayana, what's going on? You excited?
Yeah, I'm pretty good. I just got done with taking care of my dogs, so I jumped on. So here we are.
And this is not brought to you today by Bang Energy. I did not have to sleep with anyone to get this. This is just a can of.
You're welcome.
You did? Is that how I got the Bang Energy? Oh, we're doing Rockstar. Okay. Yes. CJ, what's going on? CJ, what's going on in the People's Republic of Los Angeles today?
I just got back from tanning. That's my big outing of the day.
That's incredible, man. That's incredible. Nobody protested outside the tanning salon? Nobody did? Shannon, what city are you in?
I'm currently in New York, obviously not coming from the tanning salon. I think I'm almost see-through at this point, but it's okay.
Jeez, girl, you're in New York. I didn't even realize that. So what has that transition been like for you? I know in the beginning they started locking down everything. The subways are still open, correct?
Yeah, so the city is like 50-50 / totally shut down. So something like subways, they didn't stop at all, but it's like a total ghost town, and seeing New York City like that and Times Square and everything compared to even just photos you look at online, it's so crazy. But I mean, we're getting through it. You know, upstate's definitely the safer area than the concrete jungle right now.
Well, awesome. Well, I hope all of you guys are safe. We're going to get through this. But the great part about this is that we get to do Zoom calls. And this is probably the 17th Zoom call I've done this week. I know CJ has been doing a few virtual things this week. Isn't that right? Yes?
Are you talking about my AA meetings?
Nothing. Oh, you're doing virtual AA meetings. Yes.
Yeah,
Speaking of which, Candace, what are you drinking today?
I'm drinking wine. You guys know I like to start my night off with the Sauvignon Blanc first before I switch to the Cabernet. So this is my first time.
Very nice. I don't drink, but when I do, I drink yerba mate and Bang, depending on how frisky I feel that day.
Oh, my God.
First topic, guys. Here it is. So for those of you who may have saw the documentary yesterday, or maybe you didn't see the documentary, it covered one of the most controversial periods in Michael Jordan's career. And it was when he came back from his retirement, and he was in practice, and they were trying to get him back in shape. And Coach Phil Jackson was not calling fouls for him, but he was calling fouls for Steve Kerr. And then he whacked off and he hit Steve Kerr. He's like, if you want me to foul him, I'm going to fucking foul him like this. Steve Kerr punches him in the chest. Michael Jordan then punches Steve Kerr. Yes, the same Steve Kerr who is currently the head coach of the Golden State Warriors. He punches him in the eye. Okay? And my question to you is, do you think that motivated Steve Kerr to become such a great head coach, getting punched in the eye by Michael Jordan? CJ, what do you think?
I mean, not directly, but potentially inadvertently. It said that he pretty much talked shit to each and every one of his teammates at the time. There's that one tiny guy that was on the green team or whatever that like.
Talking about BJ Armstrong on he was on the Charlotte Hornets.
And he was like, yeah, because he just made a couple like baskets. Like, that's your job. You're like yaing because of your job, but only because Michael Jordan talks so much shit to him. So like maybe Michael Jordan is like still in the back of Steve Kerr's mind, like talking shit. And then like now it kind of makes him be a really good coach. But I mean, I would think that he probably did a little bit. It's kind of like the never satisfied daddy figure that gave everybody daddy issues and made him perform on the
That is
pole a
funny.
little bit better.
I've definitely heard that before. That
Yeah.
he was just so hard on them. There's a book, tremendous book. You've read it, CJ, called Relentless by Tim
Relentless.
Grover.
They had Tim Grover in this one too. I was
Tim
like,
Grover is one of the main. He's his trainer, and he writes a book about basically the cleaner, the cooler, and the closer. And just to shorten it up for you, the closer is basically an emotionless psychopath on the court. So he's talking about Tiger Woods, and he's talking about Michael Jordan. Actually, we got some questions here real quick. Christian, you have a question. What is your question, brother? Go ahead and ask it. And while we go here, man, we got a lot of attendees on here today. Give me 1 second. Hold on, Dr. Matt Basilico. Let's put him on here. There's a few other people. Andrea, let's put Andrea on here. Jesus Christ. Oh, here we go. Promote to panelists. Hold on. There's one more I want to put on here. Grant. Cool. And hold on. Who am I missing? Is that TJ Fleming? Holy shit. Is that TJ Fleming from It's Just Banter, the It's Just Banter podcast on here? Oh my goodness, TC Fleming is on here. All right, so a bunch of things real quick. You had a question before. What was the question? Can you hear it, Christian? You have to unmute yourself. So let me go here. There's that TC Fleming with the the professional microphone. How you doing today, TC?
Yeah, man. Had it in the house, so it seemed like kind of lazy not to use it, right?
Dude, I'm buying that microphone. You sound terrific, man.
It's a Rode Podcaster. I should get advertising dollars for that.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. So what do you think about Michael Jordan and his ability to motivate people by punching them in the face?
Yeah, I don't think Kerr would have even played past that season, let alone had an assistant coaching job had he not been punched in the face. I think that's clear.
I agree. And so does that mean that that's what we should do more of in order to motivate people? This participation trophy generation.
Yeah, that's the obvious conclusion you would draw from those facts. I don't know how a reasonable person would think anything else.
Completely agree. Dr. Matt Basilico right here. We have a Harvard-educated doctor. Dr. Basilico, what do you think about that? Do you think that type of tough love, that type of like psychotic love where you just get on everybody to be perfect, do you think that's helpful? Did you have a professor like that at Harvard?
They're all like that. That's how it is. I mean, there's scientific evidence. A lot of people don't like to talk about this because it's not so PC, but when you're like put low down and you fighting back and becoming higher status, it actually increases your expression of the dopamine receptor. And for those of you who probably know, dopamine is our whole reward circuitry. This is how we get engaged in life and do different things. So I 1,000% think that action on Steve Kerr woke him up, and he was like, I'm not going to be put in that position. I'm going to fight. I'm going to be who I know I should be. And, in some ways change his physiology. So I think that's very much what we saw in those dynamics. He's gone on to be one of the most influential people really in the NBA since that moment.
Ayana, you are probably the best athlete here. Am I wrong? Can we see this real quick? Can you show us this real quick? Ayana, can we see, Ayana is like Michael Jordan level athlete. I'm not even playing with you. I am scared about, I would not, if Ayana punched me in the face, it would only be one time. It would be one fucking time. She wouldn't have to punch me twice. It would be over. Ayana, let me ask you something. You are obviously a professional athlete. You do fitness competitions. Let me ask you, do you ever have somebody who's in your face, just in your ear all the time, just pushing you to the point where you want to punch them in the head?
God, my coach is like that. He's pretty cool, but he's always kind of up my ass about making sure I'm sticking to what I'm supposed to be doing. There was one time I kind of I went on a binge. I had decided I was going to eat 3 full packs of the Hawaiian rolls, and my coach was like,
carb load, because you have to carb load, right? Because you have to carb load.
Well, at the time, no. And it would just happen that I just decided that's what I wanted to do. And he was all up on me about it. It was mostly telling me what I already knew. And that's part of really why I was so irritated, because he was just telling me what I knew. And it was supposed to make the situation any better. It didn't, because I still ate all those Hawaiian rolls, but it's fine. It's fine.
Hell yeah.
Andy Candy. Andy Candy, she's our friend. Well, she's not on here right now. Andy, when you get a chance, Andy, is there anybody? Andy Candy is all. Andy, by the way, you inspire all of us. Just to let you know, do you? Is there anything? Is there somebody in your life who pushes you like this that like tries to bring the best out of you?
I would say that I surround myself with a lot of people that are like that because I never wanted to settle for being mediocre. So you always surround yourself with the type of people that you want to be around. And when you want to strive for greatness, that's what you have to be around. You know, you don't want to settle for mediocrity.
So speaking of mediocrity, what do you think about the Green Bay Packers drafting a quarterback in the first round when they already had Aaron Rodgers? Does that seem like a great idea to you, Andy?
You know, I see kind of some ideology behind it because you always prepare for if you're going to have like a so-so season, like if you're not 100% sure, you don't draft and keep the vets or like sign and like a unsigned vet right now that could possibly be hurt 10 times, like Will Compton. Love him to death, great friend of mine, but you don't sign him when you want to prepare for the future. You want to sign the people that are going to make a difference. And when you believe in somebody like Aaron Rodgers that can be a good influence to the next generation, of course I am still pissed we didn't like draft a wide receiver the entire draft and we still have it. But you know what? I can see why the back office had a few drinks and decided that was an idea.
Do you know what you guys sound like you could use? A head coach like Mike McCarthy. What do you think, TC? What do you think about what Green Bay did?
You know what?
Yeah, I think
was that a catch though? Was that a
Was that a what?
Was that a catch in the playoff game?
It was a catch. She said, hey. Okay, so TC, for those of you guys don't know, TC is a Dallas Cowboys fan. Andrea is a Green Bay Packers fan. And she is asking right now if Dez caught the ball.
Yeah, no, I understand that. He obviously caught it. I would think that anyone with two eyes would be able to pick up on that. But, she doesn't have to apologize for the refs handing her the game. It's not like she paid him off or anything. So I'm actually a Bears fan, so I still hate the Packers. But I
live in D.C., so it's cool. You know what? I live in D.C. We don't like the Cowboys here. I don't like the Cowboys there. So it's all right. Everybody, at least we're not Redskins fans.
No, at least we're not Redskin fans, but that's fine. Shannon, let me ask you something. So do you ever get the chance to go out to see the Knicks, the Nets? Do you ever go out to see the Mets or the Yankees?
I have gone to a Knicks game. That was fun. I think basketball games are honestly the most fun. It's just such a different vibe. It's like you go to a basketball game in New York, it's like you're at a club and it's just wild. Baseball games are fun too, but it's like Yankees or a Knicks game. It's a totally different ball game,
And when you go to the Knicks game, do they just hand the tickets to you? Do they actually give you money to go to the games, or do you actually have to pay for those?
When I went, I got to just go as like a promo event type deal. Same thing. One time I went to the U.S. Open also, and I had no idea what it was. And then I was at the U.S. Open, and I was sitting in a box suite, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is actually pretty cool, So sometimes I get to go to some super cool sports events, so I enjoy it when I go. Basketball, though, I'd say it's the most fun.
TC, do you randomly get invited to the U.S. Open to sit in a box?
No. Was it the tennis one or the golf one? The tennis one?
Which U.S. Open?
That's the tennis one.
Okay.
Yeah, TC, you don't get randomly invited?
I've never been invited. I did go to rehab with the son of the USTA's medical director. So
Wait, you talking about my rehab? You talking about the rehab where CJ Sparks was almost named world champion of the Rehab Bikini Invitational? That rehab?
No, I'm talking about a farm for misled youth and.
The rehab. He went to rehab.
Yeah.
He went to got it. Okay, I understand. That makes
drug
total
abuse,
sense.
Mike.
Drug abuse rehab. Candace, do you ever get randomly asked to go into luxury boxes or anything like that for random stuff? No.
Oh, never. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, a couple times.
Yeah, a couple times. Is it any two teams in particular? Like, for instance, I don't know, the Portland Trail Blazers and the Miami Heat. With those teams, would you happen to?
A Portland Trail Blazers game. Miami.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a huge fan. Huge fan.
Why are you such a huge fan of the Portland Trail Blazers? I can't imagine why.
I get that. I just love the.
They slide into your DMs. Is that what happens?
Once or twice.
Do you have a favorite player?
I know.
You have a favorite player on the Portland Trailblazers? TC wants to know. I want to know also.
Maybe after the second glass.
I really like. Yeah, I really need another glass of wine. I really like Mario Hezonja because his number is 44 and my birthday's 4/4, so that's why I like him.
That's crazy. You know what? I should introduce you guys.
Oh, I would love that. He seems like such a nice guy. I feel like we could all like do like a dinner, like a double date or something.
Yeah, we should probably do that sometime.
Yeah, get his number for me. I'll text it to you right now.
You'll text. Hey, TC, she'll text me Mario Hezonja's number. Did you catch that?
I did get that.
You caught that? Okay.
Yeah.
Then just out of curiosity, would Myers Leonard be pissed off about you texting me Mario Hezonja's number?
He's married.
Huh?
He's married. You're thinking of Mason Plumlee.
Oh, Mason Plumlee. I'm sorry. Yes, Myers Leonard is a starter. I guess that's why I got confused.
I told you I only like power forwards, Michael.
She only likes power forwards. There seems to be. So here we go. I have a legitimate question here. TC, you can weigh in on this. All you guys can weigh up on this. Ready? Kim Kardashian is married to Chris Humphries, who is a power forward. Then her sister starts dating Lamar Odom, who plays the three but also plays power forward. And then Chloe marries Tristan Thompson, who plays power forward. And then my friend, we won't say her name, is dating Kristaps Porzingis, who at the time was playing power forward. And then you were dating two power forwards. And it just seems a little strange that all of these girls who are dating NBA players that I know are going for one position. Does that seem strange to you, TC?
I'm going to bet that Steve Nash's wife is attractive. I think that most basketball players probably end up with, women who stay in shape would be my guess. So I don't know. I think you're kind of cherry picking the data. I don't know if this is a scientific study, in my opinion.
I think it's pretty shocking that they all seem to be playing the same position. Ayanna, who do you think is the most physically attractive athlete that you know?
Like personally, or
you don't have to know him personally. I mean, we just say Marshawn Lynch. We know it's Marshawn Lynch. Just say Marshawn Lynch.
No, it's not.
So you're not that big of a Seahawks fan. You're not that big of a Seahawks fan after all, are you? I thought you were going to say Marshawn.
Definitely not. Oh God, that's a hard one. I mean, actually, I don't even know, to be honest.
Is Russell Wilson an attractive man?
He is an attractive man. I mean,
he
scored Sierra, so I mean.
He did.
He has to be somewhat attractive.
That is an incredible man who is raising future's baby. CJ, Matthew. Actually, let's ask you, Matt, because I think it's important to discuss this. Who, other than obviously Tom Brady, who you think is the sexiest athlete, who do you think the second sexiest athlete is?
That's a tough one. I'd actually go with soccer. Morgan on the U.S. women's soccer team. I know she gave birth to a baby, but
TC, I saw you light up right there. Do you agree with that?
No, it seems like he's trying to duck the question. I felt like you were trying to back him into naming a male athlete there, and
didn't really have to back him that hard.
Mike is just getting really excited. We were up to 5 a.m. last night watching TV, but I had to go to bed. I'm sorry, Mike. Just the way it's going to be. But the other thing first I throw out there, who I think is underrated, is Simone Biles. Just the things that she does.
No idea who any of these people are. I have no idea. I'm
Oh,
sure they're really attractive.
Athletically, in addition to physically,
He was in
like
the Olympics.
this, like an overall.
Gymnast,
Yeah.
the most infamous
and-
U.S. gymnast right now.
I think we should ask Andy about some people she finds attractive. I heard.
Andy,
she's a
Andy.
cleat chaser.
What did you find out? What did you hear about Andy? Candace?
I've heard the term cleat chaser and Andy in the same sentence.
Oh no, I haven't heard that at all. Andy, who?
At least
Andy,
I don't beat sneakers.
what did you say? What did Andy say?
They should have been
I don't beat sneakers.
Andy and I are friends, so we're allowed to talk to each other this way. For anybody that doesn't know.
Yeah.
I always wanted to meet her, Candace. I'm kind of nervous. I was actually nervous that she actually came on here right now.
She's real intimidating, but she's the sweetest candy.
Is that it? Is that what it is? That's
I
what
like
it is?
rounding those bases.
Rounding those bases.
That's not the only thing.
I think that TC. I think that's a euphemism for something. I don't know what it is.
I love
Guys,
baseball.
if you guys could play any position in any sport, what would it be? CJ, what would you play? What would you want to play?
First off, I wanted to say the hottest athlete I think is Conor McGregor. He's so fucking hot.
No.
He's so hot.
In person, girl.
I
he is
don't care
so
what
short.
anybody
He's
says.
so short.
He is so
Just that-
short, girl. He wouldn't even come up to your boobs.
I love that. That's the perfect height. Keep him right about waist, right here. We're not having a conversation. Are you kidding me?
They're playing
Okay.
Monopoly. Duh.
Yeah, exactly. Monopoly. If I played, I don't know what gets paid the most. That's just what I'd play.
Baseball.
NASCAR drivers get paid a lot of money. Almost every one of them own their own plane.
You know what?
Baseball barely does shit, and they make the most.
And I like to go fast.
NASCAR would be so fun. Are they? Okay, stupid question. Are they considered athletes though?
Okay, so
Is that like
people say this, and I have every
That's
right
not a
to say
stupid
this.
question. That's an excellent question.
Yeah.
Excellent question,
Yeah.
but I have a very good reason to say this because I was Miss NASCAR for 6 seasons, and
Okay.
I had to wear a fire suit. I was Miss Monster Energy for NASCAR, and I had to wear a fire suit, and that shit is so damn hot. They're like, you'll last in a fire for 8 minutes. I'm like, my hair. All right, I'm pulling Michael, and
Your body will be there. My tits
My
will
hair
be
will be
melted, but my body
But
would be okay.
the neck strength that you have to have and just the discipline, and they literally can burn up to 5,000 calories in a car just in one race. You can't go to the bathroom the whole time. You can't leave. Your head has to be straight. You're literally just like your adrenaline, the neck strength. A lot of their stuff is like based on like how fast they're like, they can see things like in the
There's a
car.
lot of things that are difficult that aren't sports, though.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
deciding its difficulty is proof.
I definitely say
maybe.
NASCAR is a sport. But
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
seriously,
So,
you're right.
so I don't think heart transplants would be considered a sport. Matt, would that
Yeah.
be considered a sport?
It's difficult.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
definitely like extreme.
There are
but I don't
athletic
know.
qualities to it, but it's definitely different. You know,
Yeah.
sports, the outcome doesn't necessarily affect life and death.
I
With
think
Tom Brady,
you
it's
have never met a soccer hooligan in fucking England. Yes, it does affect life and
Hey, I'm
death.
from
Shannon.
Boston,
I know a
man.
guy who
I
killed a
know-
guy
I
at a
know
Cowboys
I'm
game.
from-
Yeah, you do. You know someone who
Really?
killed someone at a Cowboys game, right?
Really?
I do. It was in the parking lot, not in the actual game, but game adjacent.
I honestly feel like the most underrated sport probably is bull riding though. You're getting slung off those things.
I would agree that is an
Oh my
athletic
God.
sport. Shannon, you could play
Yeah.
any position at any sport. What would it be?
I'd say I'd get to wrestle or UFC, a super jacked tattooed dude. So
So
Great
heavyweight UFC fighter. That's
yeah,
awesome.
but just against
Hell yeah.
a hot dude. I don't want to do girl UFC.
Just
Brian
hot
was-
dudes. So sort of like a pseudo softcore porn UFC.
Something
No,
like that.
so
Like lingerie one day.
Yeah, lingerie, softcore porn, UFC, no weight classes. Got it. Totally understand. Andy, what if you could play any sport, any position, what would it be?
I would probably stick to what I played in softball because I love baseball. So I would probably just be a catcher because I like hosing bitches. So I just want to show off my arm.
That's awesome. So you threw a lot of people out at second, is what you're saying,
Yeah.
and that's not a euphemism for like sex or anything. I mean, actually threw people out at second.
I was ranked third in the country for catching before I got sick, and so I signed with UCLA when I was a senior in high school.
Thank you. I love you.
So
Oh shit.
yeah, bam, bam.
We have a couple
Shit.
questions.
She doesn't even have her camera on. She's the most impressive person here. All right, what are the questions? Candace, will you read the questions out?
Yes.
What
we
about you,
have
Mike?
one.
What position?
Christian asked a while back. Christian wants to know, what do hot girls do when we're under quarantine? Well, this clearly. Do you not see who's on here?
You Zoom.
We talked about sports.
We Zoom. We Zoom. I don't know. I do a lot of different things during quarantine. I've been in Atlanta helping my sister move. I'm going hiking. I don't know. You just find something to keep yourself busy. What else are you girls doing, or what are you lovely gentlemen doing during quarantine? I know you're not hot girls, but what are y'all doing during quarantine?
Matt is sitting over next to me. TC is hosting a bunch of podcasts. And
I have a
CJ,
kid, so my answer's pretty boring. You'd want to hear from you guys more.
Shannon, what have you been doing during quarantine? Hey, Shannon, did you see the video of all the people in Brooklyn singing Biggie on Biggie's birthday? They were rapping to Biggie, and they were all doing it out of their balconies at the same time in lip sync. Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw
that what
that.
you-
It's pretty
is that what
awesome.
You guys don't do that every day? Like today you're not doing like Jay-Z? You're not rapping Jay-Z?
No, we don't rap every day outside, but I've just been trying to, you know, see how I could steer my energy into doing something positive after this, and, you know, trying not to get negged out during the craziness and look for more different things to get involved in, like this, for example, you know.
Perfect.
So I'm trying to take positives and make it work.
Ayana, you're in Virginia or Washington? Where are you?
Actually, I live in Florida now.
You live in Florida. Okay, that's right. You were moving there. Okay. So what's it like in Florida right now? Everybody's on the beach. You partied today. You just got back from the club.
Pretty much. Okay, not really. But, I mean, as soon as they said we could go to the beach, everyone was on the beach. And I'm just like, we're never leaving our houses because, you know what, we're just all going to catch the virus and we're about to die because everyone's just completely disregarding, you know, staying 6 feet away from each other and, you know, 10 people at a time.
TC, this is something we talked about last week, and I wanted your take on it because I know you've discussed this a lot on your podcast, and that was the idea that, let's just say that you and I believe, for whatever reason, we have all the medical knowledge that we should keep everything quarantined for another couple months. When things open up, the fact that Florida is going to open up a different time before Georgia, a different time before Texas, there's going to cause an inequity in sports. Obviously, that's the big theme where, like, the Mavericks would have more time to practice than the Clippers if they played in the NBA playoffs. But do you believe, as I do, just playing devil's advocate here, that as soon as they open up the casinos, as soon as they open up the beaches, as soon as that a flood of people are going to go to these things and they're not going to observe social distancing?
The stuff like the beaches where it's just a matter of like walking out from your house to go down there, like obviously there's been a ton of people down there. If you were allowed to go to the Vegas casino, like most of the people in the Vegas casino are not from Vegas, you know, and like organizing a flight, that seems like a different deal, man. I mean, I don't want to ever like bet against the stupidity of people because like they're pretty stupid.
This is my point. Exactly.
You'll lose every time.
But my other point is this.
I think attendance is going to be lower than like what it was last year.
For sure, lower than before. But what I think is that there's this presumption that people are going to observe the social distancing. Most people, I hear some people are like, oh, they're going to take the middle rows out of seats. Already they've stopped doing that. There's already pictures of flights that are packed, that are starting to get packed again. My point is, I think that when this thing starts back up, it's going to be just this huge swell that a lot of these businesses did not expect, because a lot of people want to get back to their life. I'm not saying it's smart, and I'm certainly not saying I agree with it, but I think that it's something that I think a lot of places might not expect. I asked every guest on the show last time, if you had tickets to go see a game right now, would you go? CJ is the only person who said she'd wait 14 days. Everyone else said that they would go see the game. So I'm just saying, like, I have a feeling that small – here's the other thing that I wanted to bring up. The people who come to Vegas that want to, like, do a bunch of cocaine and go to the fucking Rhino, I don't think they care about coronavirus at all. I don't think the people who are betting money on blackjack give two shits about coronavirus at all. I don't think they care in the slightest. That's why I'm saying, like, I agree with you about the stupid people. I'm just saying, if all the stupid people come together, I think that you're going to see a flood of people here.
I think that's possible, and I certainly don't expect it, like, that no one shows up or anything like that. But, you know, a lot of Vegas, like, I'm not sure these are folks you run into, and I'm not, like, an expert on this or anything, but I think that a good amount of the people you're seeing walking through are, like, people at conventions. Like, the last time I was there to visit you, is my wife had a work convention. No workplace is scheduled. Like, if her work had that convention going on a month from now, it would have already been canceled.
Good point. Yes, a lot
like
of
those
that
people,
is
like a company is
yeah.
not going to say to its workers, "You got to go to Vegas for our event." So that kind of stuff is out. And then I think that of the people like doing coke and going to the Rhino, I bet that there's 30% of those that are germaphobes. Ironically,
but the problem is those people tend to be the ones that spend the most money. Regardless, Brad right here, Brad Weather says, I think most sports fans are so impatient right now. When sports arenas are back up again, they will pack that arena. Like, I hear the cautious way that Mark Cuban is talking. I think that if there was a Mavericks game tomorrow, I think it'd sell out. TC, you don't agree with?
Yeah, I think that's kind of a different deal because the sports
isn't that the most dangerous deal
about it. Yeah, well, because it's the most dangerous, I don't think they're going to let us do it until it's, like, really clear that it's safe.
I agree with you totally. Two different things.
And if they're all saying it's safe, I'm there.
Okay.
And
if they're not,
it depends on the game, you know. Like
yeah.
Notre Dame plays Clemson this fall, if it happens, and like I would fucking get coronavirus right now to go to that.
Thank you. That was my other.
Hold on. Are you a Clemson fan or a Notre Dame fan?
Notre Dame.
Fuck you.
And I think, hey, you know what I think? I think your next guest on IJB is right here, Miss Candace Harbin. You definitely need to have her on there. She can talk about a lot of subjects, that, especially the subjects that you guys had about on the last Saturday show. Candace could answer every single one of those questions. You know what? We have somebody on here now. The reason why, one of the great things is that we've got TC Fleming here, who lived in Chicago for a while, and we have one of the callers who told me earlier that he had a call. Grant, are you still on here? Grant, hold on a second. Let me see real quick. Where is Grant?
Oh, agreed, Brad. We were just talking about the Bucks last week and Tom Brady getting put on there.
Hey, Grant, are you there?
What's up?
Hey, Grant, what were you saying before about Michael Jordan and LeBron James?
Oh, yeah, I was just stating the apparent fact that LeBron is the best of all time.
Okay, go for it. And TC, what do you think about this?
Yeah, no, that's obviously wrong. Like, I don't know.
That's obviously wrong.
It's difficult to interface with people like this because they obviously just don't care about the things that you care about. You know, you're like having two conversations of like, it's really cool. You can jump high. Like, yeah, awesome. Great. You know, and then I'm more swayed by things like winning championships or, you know, being amazing in basketball. And stuff like that just doesn't matter to Grant as much. So, you know, it's kind of two conversations.
Hey, Grant, you can turn on your camera if you want. Grant, how do you respond to that? What evidence do you bring forth that LeBron James is better than Michael Jordan?
Hang on. I got docs for this. Let me where do I start my video at here?
Just
you
push
can
the
start
video.
with the 2011 finals.
Hold on a second, Grant. Are you not okay? So just push the. Can you not see the video thing? You're a participant now, so you should be able to turn your video on.
Yeah, there's no video.
Oh, well, if you can't, that's fine. You can live in your shame with no video. Can you explain exactly why do you think that that LeBron is better than Michael Jordan? And I'll help you, by the way. I know plenty about this subject. And to me, just to let you know, TC, Michael Jordan is a 2K. Michael Jordan is a 99 overall. LeBron James is also a 99, but he would, if you sorted them, he would rank below Michael Jordan. Does that make sense?
Sure.
I put him right there, a 1 and 1A. I do think Michael Jordan is better. Grant, go ahead.
Yeah, so the reason why LeBron is better than Michael Jordan, first, let's talk about playoff appearances, man. So many more playoff appearances. What is LeBron? 4th ranked all time? Michael Jordan,
always the big metric.
18th?
It's always what people talk about when they talk about greatness. Playoff appearances.
Interesting.
Is there anything else? Grant, from the Google from the article that you just found on Google that you're quoting? Is there anything else that you found on there?
Probably good. My video is not on because I'm just reading my other screen here.
It sounds like he's in the bathroom. Is he on the
somebody's here just to start controversy, TC, just to piss you off. That's what it sounds like.
No. I really just want to bring the truth. Like I really just want to enlighten you guys and help you understand as to why LeBron is the GOAT and Jordan is the second GOAT. I mean,
give me this one real quick. Shannon, real quick.
Yeah.
I know that you're not a huge NBA fan, and I know you aren't, Ayana, but you guys are aware of who LeBron James and Michael Jordan are, right? So Michael Jordan hasn't played in that last championship was 22 years ago. He retired in 2003 when he played for the Wizards, although we like to forget that ever happened. And then he has run the Charlotte Bobcats into the ground. What I'm wondering is, to the two of you who don't really keep up with basketball, what opinion do you have about this? You know who Michael Jordan is, obviously, right, Shannon?
Yeah.
From your layman's perspective, what do you think about the two players? What have you heard? What would your opinion be?
Well, honestly, I know the names, and that's about as much as we can go in depth.
There you go. You know what? But that's an answer, and that's kind of my point. Is like you still even know who Michael Jordan is, and it's been 22 years since he's won a championship. Ayana, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know much about either. I mean, I've heard like stuff about LeBron being like avid in his community and helping that way. But with like Michael Jackson, and I'm like, wow, I just said Michael Jackson.
No, it's fine. It's very similar. There's a big correlation.
That's how much I know about basketball.
That's a big correlation.
With like Michael Jordan, I mean, all I know is his name and that he was in Space Jam, and that's about it.
That's good. That's what's all you need to. That's all you need to know, Randy Galloway. I mean, Ayana. Okay, awesome.
LeBron not in Space Jam.
And LeBron will probably be in the next Space Jam. Hold up,
That's what I heard, yeah.
Candace, you muted yourself. Candace.
Then LeBron's going to be in the next Space Jam, and then what are you guys going to use?
Yeah, I don't know. Andy, do you have an opinion?
No, the original Space Jam's not going to be
I'm just
top.
gonna say,
I'm an MJ fan. I like MJ over LeBron.
Okay.
I love how Grant tried to say that he wants to enlighten us, but honey, I don't need enlightening. I believe in Jesus and I believe in legacy. And you know what? Michael Jordan has that. So
There you go.
that.
Dude, Andy is like the most impressive person on here. She didn't even have her camera on. That's like incredible. That's incredible
Jesus,
to me.
That's why. Priorities.
That's awesome.
Mine
That's
never
awesome.
matter.
So the other topic, obviously the big topic here at TC, I haven't had a chance to ask you this. So it's the question of system, the coach versus the player, and that is the question of Gisele Munchin, the billionaire, her husband, her allowing her husband to go play for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And do we think that they're going to be a better team in the Bruce Arians system, where he actually has to throw the ball more than four yards down the field, or is New England going to be better because the whole time it was Belichick propping this whole thing up? TC, what do you think?
I would bet that Tampa would be able to probably – I would favor them in a game against New England next season, but I don't think that Brady will win Super Bowl with the Bucs, and I bet that Belichick wins one more before he goes out.
I think that's a pretty good bet. What do you think about Matt Basilico having to pick between your two favorite children?
Obviously they're going to be in the Super Bowl.
They're going to meet in the Super Bowl. TC, they're going to meet in the Super Bowl.
Really tough.
TC, they're going to meet. They're going to meet in the Super Bowl. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
I would say it's probably going to go to the Bucs. So,
You know what I think is.
you know
what I think is interesting is that
sorry, Mike.
LeBron and Tom Brady both went to the most irrelevant franchises in their leagues. I think Tampa Bay overall, well, maybe the Jacksonville Jaguars, but pretty much that would be like the most irrelevant franchise. And then Cleveland, they were terrible for so long. LeBron goes there and wins a championship. To be honest with you, to your point, Grant, that one championship LeBron won against Golden State to me is worth 2 or 3 of Michael's championships. I agree that.
Do you think they're setting this up because isn't the Super Bowl supposed to be in Tampa next year? So do you believe this is all a big setup?
Yeah, clearly it's a big setup. Except that they picked the Super Bowl years ago and they don't have any idea. But maybe. So what you're saying is maybe Tom Brady went
He was
to
in the league when they picked it. How deep does this go, Candace?
I'm just saying everything's a conspiracy theory. People think everyone made up coronavirus.
I think there's a conspiracy theory up CJ's nostrils right now that we can see. We see deep up in there. CJ, I can see your pulmonary system right now. I can see the whole thing going on there. Your left lung. I can see what's going on there.
I'm ordering Postmates.
She's ordering Postmates while she's talking to us. That's
What are you
That's pretty
ordering?
incredible.
I need to know. What are you ordering?
Probably Tender Greens or Chipotle in honor of Michael.
Yum.
hold on, let me see. I think we have one other person here that I wanted to bring on, and an expert from hold on a second. We got this guy right here. Is that Patrick? Is Patrick, are you on? Hold on, I think that may be Patrick. And then there was one other guy, Vernell, who had a question, and I don't see him on here right now, but maybe he'll come on here in a second. So Andrea, what do you think about how Tampa Bay is going to do this year?
I'm not too keen on watching them. I really don't care. I stick to my teams and my hometown team, so I'm pretty happy that, you know what, DC's the reigning World Series champ, and then where I'm from in Kansas City, the Chiefs are the champs, so I'm just winning everywhere right now. So I'm honestly, I don't really care about the Bucs. I could really care less about Tom Brady. I thought him and the coach were a really good team together. I think you separate them, and I don't think he's going to be surrounded by the same type of talent that he was there, that he helped build. So I don't see it going anywhere. I mean, shit, I don't see my team going anywhere near the Super Bowl this year either, but we'll see. We did pretty well last year, so who knows?
No, you're talking about the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah, I think the new coach is great, but I just don't think that we're going to stack up good against any other team.
Do you know who else thinks that you know who else thinks that your new coach is great? The New England Patriots. They think that your new coach is great because they were beating him, or they were losing to him 28-3, and then they came back to win the whole thing in the Super Bowl. Also, you guys don't have a wide receiver. Randall Cobb, I think, would be a good addition to your team.
LaFleur is her head coach, right?
Oh wait, LaFleur. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I got this backed up. I'm thinking of San Francisco's head coach. My bad.
I'm just gonna let him keep talking. And
now he lost to the guy that did that.
Yes,
LaFleur did, but
that's correct.
He didn't do that.
He did not do that. That's correct. That's
correct.
Did we have any more?
Cowboys in the playoffs, so
yeah, you did. You definitely beat the Cowboys out on that. And then there's also the Dez catch that happened. That did happen. Absolutely.
I don't think so. We're gonna agree to disagree on that forever.
Candace, did you read any other questions, or did you have any other questions, guys? Please write your questions in the question and answer section over here, and in the chat. Brad says Green Bay, the team that picked Jordan Love in the second round. Aaron looks so happy.
Jordan Love was a great pick. Like, I'm really, really excited for everybody that was picked. I do think that we have a really, really strong new class of team that's coming in. But I mean, until they get their numbers, until they're on the field and show us what they're made of, I'm going to need a lot of drinks, just like that front office did that entire draft. So,
Joao has a great question. Ladies, sports games as dates, yes or no? Do you guys like that idea as a date?
Yes.
Candace, you got to unmute yourself. Candace.
Absolutely, but I'd rather date who's playing on the court.
Same.
Oh!
I don't want to watch them. I want to cheer them on. I want to cheer them on. I don't want to watch them.
That's awesome.
Want to go to a baseball game?
Let's go, girl. I got a couple of them.
Are you guys, Candace and Andy, are you guys saying that you guys actually get invited to baseball games by the players? That's crazy. Is that what you're saying?
Not I. Andy, not her either.
No, it doesn't happen. Okay, just making sure.
We're just there for the overpriced beer and peanuts.
Yeah, if your girl, hold on, Drake said it best. If your girl is at the home opener of any basketball game, best believe she's fucking somebody on that team.
TC, what do you think about that?
It sounds true to me. I think Candace would be in better position to know than me, so I'm going to defer to her.
We're going to skip this because Masab, I think that's how you say it, has a question. When the interviewer asked if Jordan and his intensity came at the expense of being
Hold on, wait, time out. Let's do this instead. Masab, let's have you come on here to ask that, because that's a pretty long one. Let me see if I can find Masab. There he is. Masab, go ahead. Hold on. Let's see if this worked. All right, there you are, and you're unmuted. Masab, you can turn on your camera or not, and then you can ask the question.
Yeah, what's up, Mike?
Hey, what's going on, brother?
Not much.
Masab, what city are you were you hitting us up from?
I'm in Austin.
You're in Austin, Texas?
Yeah.
I'm familiar with that place. I'm familiar with the greatest college football team in history, and the home of 3 Nobel Prize winners and one of the greatest astrophysics departments in the world, where Neil deGrasse Tyson went. I'm just mildly aware of the place that Matthew McConaughey went to school. Go ahead and tell us more, Masab, about what you were saying.
They have their own atomic reactor, Mike.
They do. The atomic reactor is actually underneath the I can't remember which building it is, but there is an atomic reactor down there.
For sure.
Go ahead, Masab. What was your question?
Yeah, in the in the show, the interviewer asked Jordan if his intensity came at the expense of him being a nice guy to his teammates. And I was wondering what you guys' take on that, because he said leadership comes at a price and winning comes at a price. So is that the case? Like, does there have to be a trade-off between being a good leader and dragging your team along, or can you be a nice guy at the same time?
Let's ask our resident nice guy here, TC. What do you think?
I mean, I think it's obvious that it's possible to win a championship while being a nice guy. Like, Steph Curry seems like more or less a pretty nice guy. You know,
there is a guy on that team who is not a nice guy.
Who you would say, like, Draymond's fueling it? Oh, maybe. Like, the idea that the third best player is like setting the practices. I don't know, man. And like fourth best whenever KD's there. I'm not sure that they talked to Draymond about a lot of decisions. You could certainly, like, Tim Duncan, you would say is a pretty nice guy. Certainly not a Michael Jordan-like personality. and he won a lot of titles. But none of them won 6, I would point out. So it's an interesting debate about whether or not it was absolutely necessary for him to be that way. Like just the Steve Kerr coaching style too. Like Steve Kerr, I think it's pretty clear doesn't run those practices in a way that like makes his players feel demeaned.
Well, I think Steve Kerr actually, in all seriousness, learned a lesson from playing with the Bulls on like how to get the most out of his guys without pushing them like that. I think Steve Kerr's a lot more like Phil, and he learned a lot from Phil and took a little bit more passive role. Andrea, what do you think? Do you think you can win a championship by being a super nice guy?
I mean, I would say that you could, but not necessarily, because that's just, I mean, if everybody was a nice guy, then I feel like it would just be super boring. Like, I don't know, attitude and personality and character adds to the game, and that's why people are fans of particular people, the quote-unquote bad guys versus the good guys. So, I don't know. I mean, I know Michael Jordan's son, and he's actually like he's involved in basketball too, and he's super duper nice. Marcus is awesome. And he talked about his dad, and he's been telling me about like how they've watched the show together, and he tells me his take. And he's like, you know what, that it didn't make him a different dad. Like he was still an awesome dad to all of his kids. But I mean, you don't have to be a nice person. I mean, I was a very particular player when I played softball. Like I was a very mean and aggressive person, but as soon as I stepped off that field, it's a different game. I feel like you have to bring some sort of aggression, but I don't think you have to be an asshole.
Did you ever throw it at anybody's head? No, you play catcher. But you just
I had a girl one time that she slid into my knee when I was covering home. Like she particularly slid right into my knee with metal cleats, and it actually made my knee give out. And so I picked the bat up from her friend that was batting at the time, and I tried to throw it at her, and I threw it right at her back. We both got kicked out of the game. We were both ejected. But that was like when I was a lot younger, though. I didn't do that shit in high school. I learned my lesson. But
I wish you had not learned your lesson. That sounds pretty incredible.
I mean, I just threw it at her back. I didn't throw it at her head, and she would have had a helmet on anyway. She would have been fine. But we both ended up going to the hospital after that. We talked it out. We were in adjoining rooms, so it was totally fine. But I think you bring a different type of personality to the field, and I don't think that's a bad thing at all.
Ayana, have you ever been in a sports fight?
I mean, I've watched a sports fight. I went to a hockey game in Virginia, and as a date, and I actually got to watch it. This dude slammed him into the wall. It was great. I had so much fun.
Had so much fun watching the fight. That's incredible.
Yeah.
If Mason Plumlee and Mario Azonia got in a fight, Candace, who would win?
Oh, well, see, it's funny. I actually was going to the preseason game with Mario, and we're on our way to dinner the night before. And he was like, "Are you excited about the game tomorrow?" And I knew the whole time, but I didn't know he realized that I dated Mason while me and him had broken up for about 6 months. So I was like, "Oh, yeah, I'm really excited about the game tomorrow. I can't wait." And the whole time being in my head, like, fuck. And he goes, we're at dinner, and he goes, "So is it going to be weird tomorrow since I'm playing Mason?" And I was like, "Who's that?"
Who's that?
But then they ended up, as soon as Mario came on the court the next day, Mason fouled him out immediately, and then they both had this little combative thing for a second, and then when Mario went up to the free throw line, Mason walked up and shook his hand, and I'm literally sitting in the audience like, God damn, they fucking know.
Do you see this, TC? Do you see this look on her face? She's embarrassed because her boyfriends fouled each other on the court. We have some statements here. Grant, who was on here earlier, asked, "What is your favorite sport and why is it soccer?" So I don't know. I'm not surely. Yeah, nobody. So that would be the answer to that one. Joao wants to know, would you guys be interested in dating a sports fanatic? Is there anything wrong with dating a sports fanatic?
No.
Anything? No, you guys are not into. Shannon, would you date a Nick? Would you care if someone was a Knicks fan or a Nets fan?
No, as long as they weren't so overly obsessed with it that distanced their attention from me completely. You know what I mean? So it's cool to be involved in something and love something, but if you're
I was kind of hoping you'd say, if they're a Nets fan, fuck them. I would never talk to a Nets fan. That's disgusting. I thought that's what you were going to say, but yeah, that's it.
No, right? Screw those guys. No.
Yeah. Yeah, Andrea, would you not date someone if they were a Bears fan or a Vikings fan?
I I probably wouldn't. I don't know. Like my ex-fiance was actually a Lions fan, and all of our teams, like we were literally rivals for every single team that him and I liked. And that was actually going to be the theme of our wedding, was the rivalry. But I mean, we see how that turned out because I'm
Then
not
what
with them
happened?
anymore, but that's totally fine. But I don't know if I could handle a Chicago fan. I could handle a Vikings fan. My mom is actually married to my stepdad, who's a Vikings fan. She's a diehard Packers fan. But in their household, when those games go on and they're playing each other and like one of them wins, they don't speak to each other all week. So, but I'm sure I could handle it. I'm pretty sure I have in the past. But I probably couldn't handle a Bears fan because I hate flying into Chicago, period, anyways. So
Oh, it's an
I feel
exceptional
like competition
airport.
is healthy. I feel like competition is healthy. I feel like you can't agree on everything, and you might as well have a little fun rivalry. I mean, it's better to argue about sports than it is about who cut the lawn
politics.
in the trash.
Yeah.
Politics.
Yeah, I think I would.
Sure.
I think I would have a difficult time dating an Eagles fan because I'd be, dating someone who can't read or spell would be kind of difficult for me. I don't really know how that would work. Or a Redskins fan and having, dating someone who's a crack addict, that'd be very difficult to
But
deal
at
with.
least
But
they know
whatever.
how to lose, though. I mean, I got to give it up to all the
They do.
DC people because they know
They
how to
do.
lose.
So
and
you'd
you know
have a-
what? They've accepted it. They've really accepted it.
Andrea, you'd get into an argument with them and they'd be like, okay, that's fine.
Yeah, they roll over and it's fucking fabulous.
We drafted.
I feel like
Dwayne Haskins,
diehard
okay.
fans, like the Knicks suck, and I know they suck, but their fans still love them because it's the Knicks. They play at Madison Square Garden.
I don't think the fans love them. I don't think the fans love them at all. I actually think the Knicks are like the most toxic organization in sports. I think it's pretty bad, to be honest with you.
I wish they still fought though. I kind of would like a little bit of the Pistons.
So yeah, that was one of the questions. TC, do you prefer? And I'm going to ask this to Matt because you gentlemen are a little bit older like me. Would you guys prefer the 1989-90 version of basketball, 86, the 86 Celtics where they clothesline people, the 89 Pistons where they just came over and clowned people from behind and there was no flagrant one? Would you prefer that version of basketball or do you like the version better now?
I like it better now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels like a pure personal preference kind of thing, but I guess I just think I'm just interested in basketball at the highest level, and I feel like this is the highest level. I think that the teams today would, by and large, blow out the teams from back then.
Yeah, we had the discussion before where it was like this whole 3-point shooting thing that the teams have discovered recently. There's no reason it wouldn't have worked in 1979 when the 3-point line came out. Is the
Just
3-point line
strategy?
Yeah, the 3-point line was the exact same dimensions. The ball was a little different, but the 3-point line was the same dimensions. And if somebody was able to shoot 33% from the 3-point line, it's the same thing as shooting 50% from the 2-point line. So, or from inside the 3-point line.
I prefer the old school ball for sure. I mean, not just because the Celtics were much better at it, but yeah, I mean, it's like it's a physical game, and growing up playing pickup, it's like the spirit of the sport. So
I can totally understand that.
And getting back to the issue of like, are nice guys good? Can nice guys be good sports? Like the whole deal is like, are you nice to people on your team versus off the team, right? Like,
bro, you're too nice. We don't even want to hear this.
Mentioning,
you're
right?
Nice.
Like you want to hit someone with the ball. Yeah, sure. That's like you're aggressive against their team. Larry Bird is a perfect example of this. Like, super asshole on the court, but nice to guys in his team. And I think that is like the ultimate. There you go.
I don't know
if
Larry Bird is nice to guys on his team.
I think the real question, and this is the deal with Jordan, right? Is it all depends on your team members. Because you see this in surgery all the time. It's like if your team is like cooperative and going well, like great, like the leader's typically super net, like things are going strong. It's when people aren't working well together that the leader has to then think, okay, is now the time to change the behavior in a way. And I think Jordan was facing that situation, which led him to behave in that way, right? But I think you also have plenty of examples of some of the greatest athletes of all time, Bird being one of them, who were very good to people on their team and may have not been good to people off the team.
That's a great point, Matt. And also in '86, you could watch the people on the fans of Boston could watch the Celtics beat up on black people, and I think that they probably enjoyed that more than anything.
I knew you're gonna throw that one in there.
The local KKK rally that happened for the Boston Celtic fans. I'm not trying to say anything bad about Celtics fans, except that they suck. Anyway, let's keep going on here. Ayana.
Oh wait, baby. Oh wait.
Oh wait. Oh yeah, you're right. Oh wait, that must have really pissed off a lot of people in Boston. Ayana.
Question about,
Okay. Yeah, let's go. What's the question?
do you think the NBA is starting to kind of distance themselves from college basketball? Most European players are coming in.
As far as them distancing themselves from college basketball, I think what's happened is the NBA now, instead of having a G League, they're actually giving players like a $200,000 salary to come play in like this pseudo G League, because they're they're trying to steal players back away from what Australia is doing and what these European places are doing, where so these kids do not want to play college for 1 year and not get paid, and they do not want to go play in the G League where they get treated like trash and they get thrown around on a bus. They don't want to do either one of those things. So what's happened is they went to Australia, and now the NBA is trying to price themselves back into the market. The ultimate irony is that the NBA for years was trying to fight against these creepy agents going and like hustling these 18-year-old kids and then getting them to like signing them before they were even in college, and then giving them money under the table. The NBA is literally now trying to give them money under the table to try to be able to compete. And so it's definitely going to be a problem. And I don't know what the solution is. What I do know is that it does bother me that nobody seems to have a problem that baseball and hockey players can join the league when they're 18 years old, but basketball players, for some reason, they're too irresponsible and stupid to be able to play when they're 18.
And if you're a tennis prodigy, you can drop out of school whenever you're 14 and no one gives a shit.
Yeah. I mean, I keep wondering like what college Wayne Gretzky went to. I keep wanting somebody to tell me where Derek Jeter went to college. I keep wondering, like what was that university that Dirk Nowitzki went to? No, he was in the German army. That's what university he was in. Like these guys didn't play in college. This idea that college was this necessary thing to move on to the next level, I think has obviously been disproven. And now the NBA is having to deal with their own, the own myth that they created. Does anybody else want to weigh into this? Candace?
Well, yeah, I mean, so as we've all Michael has made it known to everyone that I dated this guy named Mario, and he plays obviously for the Portland Trailblazers, but he actually is from Croatia. He started playing professionally at 15 for Barcelona, and then was drafted in 2005 straight to the NBA. He never even went to college for basketball or anything like that, and they drafted him straight, first round, 5th pick to the Magic, which they suck. But anyways, like Michael was saying, they're trying to, I feel like, take it back because, again, these guys aren't having to go to college like they're in the U.S. to play basketball. They're going straight when they're young. So I think draft them when they're young is better. How old was Kobe when he started playing?
Kobe was 18.
18, right? Yeah.
Somebody asks Joao asks, how would you feel about dating a school gym teacher versus an NBA player? Personality, that's what's going on. And Joao later said that he's a school gym teacher, so that's why he was asking the question, I think.
I love my school gym teacher, Coach New. I still remember him to this day. He was awesome.
Okay, so my next question is, how much do you love your school gym teacher? Like on a scale of 1 to 10, how much? And was there alcohol involved in the love that you had for your gym teacher? Would be my next question.
No, I did competitive cheer and I did baton twirling and everything in high school. I liked my coach a lot. He was cool.
Yeah, Jake will tell you stories about whenever he was in high school, the coach was dating the hottest girl in school, and would like just brag about it to him. Just be
that's like, fucking crazy. Wait, what school was this?
Fucking Richland High.
You probably shouldn't say that live. Next thing you know, we're gonna be having a fucking documentary about somebody raping the kids.
By the way, just
definitely illegal.
On Netflix. Netflix is gonna come out the documentary next week. Thanks.
It's just me, but like CJ, you can answer this. If Netflix wanted to make a documentary about you or anyone in your life, what would you tell them to get the fuck away? Because like it seems to me, if you're in a documentary, it's just nothing but bad for you. It's a lot of attention, but there's never the documentary about like how the middle class intelligent person like wins and there's a happy ending. It's always just like some incredible tragedy that ends with death or prison. What do you think?
I would just want them to. I would just be concerned with how much they're going to pay me. I don't care. Who cares?
How did you guys counsel your personal friend Jeff Lowe whenever this came up?
Jeff Lowe. Yeah. I'm trying to think if anyone in here met Jeff Lowe. I don't think none of these girls are from Vegas, so I don't think any of them met Jeff Lowe. But yeah,
you did though, right?
I didn't meet Jeff Lowe. I met one of the Tiger Cubs. So I went over.
He must have been around. He's not letting him out of his sight.
I went to one of the this one mansion for a photo shoot with Justin Price, and there was a tiger that was running around. And and I realized that tiger was one of the ones that Jeff Lowe from Tiger King had brought to Las Vegas to kind of like show them off. And this thing was incredibly terrifying. Like it would just like it was
a fucking tiger.
Because I love cats, right? But just imagine a cat, but it's all just hard muscle, and then like a cat's paw is like this wide. Just imagine a cat's paw like this wide with just razor sharp teeth and just incredibly strong, and then it just keeps wanting to gnaw at your ankles and then swat at you, but it thinks it's playing with you. It's terrifying. Like that's the reason why after 2 years that you can't play with these things anymore. They're really, really scary. But
there's like a lot of meth you can. A lot of meth, you can do anything with those tigers. I mean, he proves that in Tiger King.
A lot of what? A lot of meth for sure. Dude, meth makes everything taste good. Sprinkle it on your fucking donuts. Meth makes meth.
Oh, Amy love that. Donut lover.
I do love donuts. I mean, I do love donuts.
I was going to send you some donuts.
There's a place in Thailand that actually they take out the like the panthers and cheetahs like claws and their fangs for people.
Oh God!
It's
to play with them?
Humanitarian at all. I've never been, but I had one of my girlfriends went, and
I really thought you were going to say there's a place in Thailand where people shove donuts up their, you know what, and then.
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
You were thinking that too? And which would you rather see? Oh the declawed panthers, or the vaginal donut? Which would you rather see? Yeah, I think I completely agree.
Isn't there a place where they shoot ping pongs out?
Yeah, they shoot birds and ping pong balls out there.
I've never heard of the birds. It's just some like.
Oh yeah, it's like a baby bird.
Hey Candace, 1975 is calling. They wanted to say hello. What do you mean? Is there a place where they shoot ping pong balls out of their vagina? It's Thailand. They've been doing that since the last century.
And this is like gerbling the Eminem.
Next thing you're gonna tell me there's someone having sex with a donkey in Tijuana. Like, what are you talking about? Like, of course.
That's happening in Kentucky. That's Kentucky right there.
Yeah, girl, in West Virginia, they just rape their cousins. In Kentucky.
Is that it?
Exactly.
But if you go to the box in New York City, super weird.
Tiger King.
Like, your family tree looks like this. Your family tree looks like this right here, like a pyramid.
Haven't y'all ever seen the wild and wonderful whites of West Virginia?
Girl, that's West Carolina. I know.
All right, I'm getting undressed here.
That sounds like a perfect Netflix special.
Let's get the ratings turned down here.
Welcome
All right.
to the party. While Michael's taking his jacket off, I'm going to show you guys the website where you guys can donate to everyone that's been on the show tonight. I'm sorry, this should have already been pulled up for you guys. It was, but I got tired of listening to you guys, so I went off the site for a bit. I'm kidding. So go to hookedonfashionlive.com, go to the beautiful models. Right here, you'll see Michael, gorgeous. So go down all the way through the models, meet all the models here, and swipe all the way down to the very bottom of the screen. If you want to make any donation to anybody that you've seen on the show tonight for joining in all the fun with us, you can do it right here. You can make your tip anonymous if you'd like. Remember, all the proceeds are going to Provision Packs for Pantries, where they help the families affected by the COVID-19 virus. Pick a model right here, go swipe all the way down. I do this every week and I'm going to continue to do it. Just click on Candace.
Click on Candace Harbin. So that's how all the models get the money, is we just click on Candace Harbin. Is that the trick, Candace?
Harbin. No, I'm kidding.
Is that what we do it? Okay.
Pick a model of choice that you like. I would pick Michael. Are you on here, Michael?
Of course I'm not on there. That would be ridiculous. Of course I'm not on there.
Host of the show. You guys tip your host, okay?
No, you don't tip me. It's fine.
So
give the money to the pantry.
Here is the site, and so go on there, make sure that you're donating, because coronavirus is a bitch and we're ready for it to get over with. So let's help these families out so we can get back to normal.
We definitely are ready to get rid of it. And just for those of you who want to know more, give me 1 second. And packs. Let me see if I can find it. There it is right there. Stand by. Let's go here. This is Provision Packs Pantry. Hopefully you guys can see it on my screen here. And this is, you can go to Provision Packs on Instagram, and they are actually giving backpacks to families that are suffering from COVID-19. That's what they're focusing on. When you donate to one of the ladies on any of the Hooked on Fashion shows, part of the proceeds goes to Provision Pack Pantries, and hopefully we can help these people out, because, man, this is rough. I know this is rough for a lot of people, and hopefully some of these shows. I know you guys have Wind Down Wednesday on Wednesday. We have the bikini competition on Friday. We have trivia. We have game night on Thursday. We have the workout, Get Physical on Tuesday. And, hopefully we can make some people look, CJ's showing off. There you are. Show off some more, CJ. Show off some more. and we're just all having a good time. There she is. Just go ahead, keep showing off. But yeah, hopefully you guys, if you want to donate, just go right there to Provision Packs Pantry, and we will definitely do more of that. And I forgot how to turn this off. One second, give me a second, and stop share. Very good. TC, what are you looking forward to? I guess the next one would be what were you looking forward to next week on The Last Dance?
I mean, I feel like these ones that we just went through, it's gonna be hard to top them. So
well, are you surprised that they only took half an episode for the 72 and 10 season? I thought that was gonna be a whole episode on the 72 and 10 season.
Yeah. I mean, I think that you could probably do a documentary just about that, right?
Yeah.
I'm not sure about 10 hours, but certainly quite a bit. So yeah, I think they'll probably be getting into the 72 and 10 season, they did that. So they'll be focusing a lot on the last two series, both of them against the Jazz. They've already foreshadowed that the next thing they're going to talk about from the 98 season is that Pacers series.
Yeah.
But I don't know what the big storylines otherwise are, because I feel like they hit the him leaving, coming back. So I the stuff aside from like just the actual games, I don't know what they're going to do in the last two, but I'm excited to see everything else.
Was the flu game in the first series against Utah or the second?
Pretty sure it was the first one.
The first one. Okay, cool.
So yeah, that'll be huge. Definitely.
Yeah. Very good. The food poisoning game. Actually, it wasn't the flu.
Yeah. Clear symptoms.
He got food poisoning. Hey, we have a great question from Joelle, ladies. Ladies, what advice do you have for a 25-year-old pioneering in the modern dating world? Advice you would give your kids? Do you have any dating advice for a 25-year-old man, Candace Harbin?
Yes, my ex we were just talking about is only 25. So live your life, grow up, mature. You're 25. You shouldn't be worried about dating right now. Life is too short, especially with coronavirus going on. You should know you only get one chance to travel. If this doesn't show everybody that life is super short, like what if something happened tomorrow? We all got coronavirus and died. Did you do everything that you wanted to do?
You got it tomorrow and died tomorrow? That is a fucked up coronavirus. We got coronavirus and then we just died the next day? That's fucked up, girl. What have you heard? Is there some information that you're privy to that I don't know about? She fucking died the next day and you had coronavirus?
Scary Larry.
I'm giving an example. If you died tomorrow, make sure that you live your life. Make sure you want to do everything you do before you date. And don't settle for anything that you don't want or don't deserve. I mean, again, life is.
I totally agree with you.
Do everything before you worry about
if I knew I was going to die tomorrow, I would spend my day with my cats and just look at pictures of Andy Candy the entire day. That's all I would do. Shannon, what advice would you give for somebody who's 25, some young guy who's 25 trying to learn how to date?
Dude, live your life, man. You know, there's lots of chicks out there. Don't just settle on one because you're not ready or whatever.
Two things I love about this podcast, this show. Number one, ladies telling men date lots of women. That's the first thing. And the second one is the fact that all of you guys are younger than me and all of you pretty much think that Jordan is better than LeBron. Those are the two takeaways that I took from this that I thought were pretty amazing. Ayana, what would you do to some dude if he cheated on you, like physically? And by the way, show your muscles while you're doing this. Let me see. So some dude cheated on. No, can we see the abs? Can we see the abs real quick? Let me see the abs, and let's show the abs, and then to be like what you would do. Let's see the abs. Hold on. Yeah, Ayana, have you ever eaten a carb in your life? When is the first carb that you're going to consume in your life? I'm just curious. What would you do? Like what part of the body would you attack first? That's what I want to know.
If he cheated on you.
Yeah, if he cheated on you, yeah.
I would probably cut off his balls.
Yeah, that's you gotta do it.
Actually, I would cut off his penis because he will always have blue balls. You can't.
That's great. Andrea, what did you think about that? Was that a good picture that it painted for you? That very Game of Thrones type picture there?
You know what? I completely agree with that because you know what? That is like the ultimate joke for guys. Like he'll never be able to get it up because it won't be there. So
yeah,
there you go. I agree.
TC, does this type of language make you feel uncomfortable?
I don't generally get involved with ladies like this anyways. I keep them with lower self-esteem and everything. So it's kind of outside my deal. It's not a world I live in.
Matthew, would you be able to sew the penis back on from your Harvard medical training?
Oh my God.
Loretta Bobbitt that
I've
shit.
actually seen a case like this. And I can't say much more, but
Hey, are we recording? We're recording, bro.
Hold on, wait.
The floor is yours. What the fuck? Go.
Everyone, be quiet.
I can't. I can't say much more. But
why not? We don't give a shit about.
Classics is a great special.
Okay, hold on, Matthew. Let's talk about it. Hey, Matthew, I understand how HIPAA laws, work, Matthew. So let's just say a hypothetical penis being sewn onto a hypothetical man. Can you go and describe that?
Look, I was just
Yikers, bikers.
Ayana, that I understand where she's coming from, and team's a terrible thing, but there are solutions besides physical.
Do you understand where the guy with no penis? Do you understand where he is coming from? Can you describe what happened to him?
I'll just say the psychological consequences were severe.
Okay, so Michael,
not old enough for the Loretta Bobbitt case.
Flight to Vegas when Mathers opens up. We're having a dinner, me, you, and Matt, and he's gonna tell us the story.
Yeah, Matt will tell us the story privately. He can break HIPAA laws just in the confidence of the few of us,
hey,
and that won't
matter. If I buy him some butter cake, I'm sure he'll spill all.
Hey, you want to know what I would do for some butter cake? God, boy, just write it in the comments. I would wear a slingshot bikini for some butter cake. I would eat butter cake off a pig's ass. That shit is so good. You know what? I'm gonna order some butter. But Matt, we're gonna order butter cake right now, right after this. We're gonna order butter cake, and then you're gonna do the triple bypass.
Candace, Mike's buying me butter cake before you are, so I gotta
speaking
go
of food, mine just got here. I'll be back.
Hey, TC. Okay, all right. TC's gonna come back because we wanted you to tell us about the podcast. He say, huh?
What is this magical butter cake that you guys are describing?
Okay, so let's help her out.
What is butter cake?
Okay,
let's find out what warm butter cake is. Stand by.
Andy, was the last time you were in Vegas was with me, right? Me and you.
That was my last time. It just makes me laugh thinking about it, but yes.
Why? Nothing crazy happened there. What are you talking about?
No,
No,
we're at Mason Toyland charity event. We were raising.
Dude, I remember that. Yeah, she told me the story afterwards that the whole time she was looking for a Bible study to go to after the event. Okay, so this is warm butter cake. This is what. Hold on, let's see if we can find the Mastro's butter cake. Hold on. Okay, this is the greatest thing you've ever eaten in your life. Not the greatest dessert you've ever eaten in your life. Not the greatest butter cake you've ever eaten in your life. This is the greatest thing you have ever put in your mouth, period. Like, this is incredible. So really excited for you guys to come to Vegas, and then we can have a bunch of butter cake and just except they're much bigger than this, but it's really, really good. It's basically a Krispy Kreme donut cake. That would be the best way to, wouldn't that be a way to describe it?
I agree.
Candace,
that's right.
It's like a Krispy Kreme donut, but it's a cake. It smells like Krispy Kreme.
Like that. Okay, you know when the hot now signs on Andy at Krispy Kreme? That's the
there's an app for that, and I have it. So it's set to my favorite ones, and then when my favorite locations have warm donuts go through, the red light comes on, and it sends me an app notification. It's on for 23 minutes.
Do you know what I'm going to do, Andy? Send me your address, and I'm going to randomly send you donuts. Will that work? Can I do that? Maybe? Okay. All right, I'm gonna randomly send you donuts. I love how CJ is like doing maintenance around her house right now, and she's just
I'm cooking.
Oh, she's cooking.
CJ.
There you go. That's incredible. All right, do we have any other questions, guys? Hold on, we had one. There was one that was pretty funny there. Pickup lines can be corny, but a great way to start a conversation. Hold on, where we go?
I like pickup lines. I think they're kind of funny.
Yeah,
I mean, they're stupid, but I feel like if a guy has enough courage to come up to you and throw you a pickup line.
Andy, do you like guys who send you memes? Is memes like a good way to get your attention?
If they can keep up with my type of meme level, absolutely. Like,
and what? So like Andy, what is the level? Shannon, let me ask you real quick, Shannon. If somebody was sending you really like gross memes, would you like them more or less? Are you kind of a meme girl?
Depends on what they look like the person.
What the guy looks like.
Oh, yeah.
Depends on what the guy looks like. Not perverted memes like they're sending dick pics. I'm saying memes of like just like I can't even say the things on here because this is going to go on YouTube and we're going to get taken off.
Well, if it's like
stream.
someone's grandpa, it's not going to be cool. But if it's a decent human, definitely all right.
But the dad.
Oh,
but the dad, it's okay.
If it's a hot dad, no dad bods.
I'm kidding.
I don't know. I'm into I'm into super wild ones. Like, I mean, some of you guys have seen my account on Instagram. It's like a balance between hot chicks and just lavishly weird memes. And like, that's just the way I run my life. So.
Andy, is there a level that you would be offended by, like the meme somebody sends you?
No, I think being from Missouri, we really don't give a fuck about like stuff like that.
We don't give a fuck because we're from Missouri. That's
yeah,
correct.
like we're from the show me state, so show me a good meme. If you can't show
All right, so
me
let's see. Does Andy have some good memes on right now? Let's take a look and
I don't
see.
think I do right now. I mean, that one's kind of lame. I like SpongeBob though.
I like Andy's memes. I think they're hilarious.
They're really good because she steals half of them.
I've not been
Let's
on
see
it today.
Michael, actually, I will say you're the best meme in the game. Like,
Yeah, I mean, I do take a
so
lot of
fucking
inspiration
real.
from you, Michael. I mean, I bounce a lot of them off of you too. I'm like, is this
Yeah.
one good?
Is this one good? Let's see. Oh, here we go. Other people, you're cruising for bruising. Me, you're asking for a basket. Very good. That's good. That's a really good meme. There we go. And then hold on, wait, donuts. Wait, wasn't there some picture of some donuts? Where are the donuts at?
Oh, I have donut pictures.
Oh, she posted
were
that
eating-
because she posted on her story yesterday. Remember, Andy?
Yeah, I posted it on my
God.
story.
Here we go.
but-
Body by
No,
donuts. Let's
that's
see,
just
do you have-
like me being healthy. That's not like actual like.
That's so depressing. That no.
It's
don't wanna
pretty
hear
far
about-
down there, so you're not gonna find it. It's okay.
There we go. There we go. So this is Andy.
Oh yeah, there's a couple. It has a bite taken out of it. He made me get it out of my mouth before the picture, so that's why there's a bite mark.
That's awesome. Very
Girl,
good.
You go through with the follow. You go through
we can-
with the thing.
We can look at your dental records that way. That's exceptional. All right, guys. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about? Because I love this call every week. This is like a catharsis for me. I was hoping TC would get back and show us his bomb at some point.
Did you want to talk about the NBA block, or do you want to wait to talk about that to next week?
The NBA. The NBA. Oh, coming back?
Yeah.
I heard
with
they're
the
not
block.
gonna.
What do you think?
Okay, so this is a great question. Okay, so I listen to a lot of Wojnarowski and who's the other guy that's always on there? I can't remember. Chris Bouchard and a bunch of these guys. I listen to them. McMullen, what's her name? Jackie McMullen. I listen to a bunch of them, and they are split right down the middle. Who's the guy who went to he went to LeBron James High School? What's his name? Windhorst. Brian Windhorst.
Brian Windhorst.
Yeah. So Brian Windhorst is like he seems to be of two minds where they are absolutely trying to make the season happen, and he doesn't think the season's going to happen. And before you were talking about the block, this is a really good thing for us to end on because it's a very good, interesting idea. So basically, the idea would be this: they would either take a block of rooms at the Mandalay Bay. The Mandalay Bay has already put together a program where they would play the games. The stadium inside Mandalay Bay, they can actually put 12 full 94-foot courts on there. They would put all the players, all the teams, the coaches, and their families in the hotel rooms inside of Mandalay Bay. They would keep them there, and then they would broadcast the games from the stadium inside of Mandalay Bay. The other idea is to put them on an island. The problem with that is one guy gets coronavirus. LeBron James gets coronavirus in the finals, stuff like that. So it's very difficult to go forward and do that. There's also a proposal for like a one-and-done type of tournament. I don't know how much people would respect a champion that won a one-and-done type of tournament because you end up with like, I don't know. You'd end up with like the Brooklyn Nets winning the
They
championship. It
can't
would just
do
be
the one
weird.
and done thing.
I don't
That's
think
too
they'll
I
do,
agree
I
with
don't
that.
think they'll do the one and done thing at all. I don't think.
But could you imagine if Kevin Durant's like, yeah, I feel like coming back, right? He's back from surgery, and then all of a sudden, remember, Kyrie Irving had shoulder surgery, so now he's back. He decides he wants to come back and he's healthy, and they still have Dinwiddie, they still have DeAndre Jordan, and they come back and they win an NBA championship. Meanwhile,
That'd be
LeBron's like,
terrible.
I don't feel like playing. It would be terrible, exactly. So the problem is, this idea seems like it would work until one person catches coronavirus, and now a team is literally eliminated from the playoffs because somebody has coronavirus. And that part, I don't know, works. TC, what do you think?
I think that you could get it done because the key is just having enough testing. Right now, I think the biggest thing holding everyone back is that it would be we don't have enough tests going around that it would look bad if we used like half of them on the fucking NBA.
Right.
Well, because they said they would need at least 115,000 because they're gonna have to test not only them but their
Well,
families.
Adam Silver is
Yeah.
saying a number around 500,000. Adam Silver says he's not comfortable using tests until there are 500,000 a day. Ayana,
In a world where you had like as many tests as you wanted, this is all pretty easy. It's just like you test them before they walk on the court, like immediately before they walk on the court, so you know that everyone in that game doesn't have it while they're playing the
Oh,
game.
no. That wouldn't be the case either because you have to think about it. You're not going to separate them from their families. Their families are going to have to come too. But not only that, but you don't only have the players on the court. You have the teams. You have the trainers. You have
But I'm just saying, if you test them
housekeepers-
right before they walk on, you know they don't have it.
No, I know, but if they put them in Vegas, this is their problem with putting them in hotels in Vegas. If you put them in hotels in Vegas, and everyone who serves them food, every housekeeper, everyone that comes
Well,
in.
so that's the other part, Candace, is that they would sequester the housekeepers and the chefs and the staff.
But they're
They would
living in the
also be
Mandalay Bay
sequestered.
too.
They would also be living in the Mandalay Bay. Now, how the prostitutes that they would order, how they would get to and from the Mandalay Bay, they would probably have to sequester a certain number of NBA groupies or prostitutes to service them during the time of
Think
this
ahead.
quarantine.
Yeah.
You
But
have
they
to think
also
ahead.
thought about putting them at the Disney World Resort in Orlando.
So again, that was the other one. So some of the players were like, "Oh, I'd like Las Vegas," and some of them were like, "No, I'd rather have Disneyland." You're dealing with the same problems. The issue is not what you're talking about, Candace. You're correct. They would test them before every game. The issue is somebody can still get coronavirus. It might not present symptoms the first day, and then all of a sudden, it doesn't make any difference how he got it. If all of a sudden DeAndre Jordan has coronavirus, it's likely that Spencer Dinwiddie has it, and then Kevin Durant has it. Like, these guys, they're going to deal with each other. They're going to get sweaty.
But if you
just
can just
never
test
know
them
how
right then, like if you just make it so that whoever does it, test them, if you test negative, then you don't play.
Yeah. But I mean, do you understand? It's not like tearing your ACL. You're literally out for coronavirus.
Yeah, and you have to think about everyone in the league, all their families, all the coaches, all the players. It's not just them going on the court. It's everybody even come in contact with them. I don't think they're going to do it. I think it's way too much involved.
No, I don't think they're going to do it either. But I'm just saying it's pretty simple, like as a plan,
Let's ask our resident Johns Hopkins MD here, Matt Basilico. What do you think of the feasibility of this testing and making this whole thing work?
Yeah, I mean, it's the question of prioritization, I think, is going to be important. If we can get the testing up to a level that, spending $500,000 tests on NBA is acceptable to the general public. And then number two, I mean, exposure risk is a real thing. It's not just the players; it's the training staff. Like there's a huge
But
support.
they don't matter. We just want to see LeBron.
The,
we just want to see LeBron. We don't give a shit.
They're also the
Trainers
people
can
most
get
at risk,
coronavirus.
right? It's like the folks that are older, that have to be a part of the team. Like, they're also the most at risk if someone does get sick. So I think we do need to think about everyone there. I actually feel a bit differently. I'd be okay with this is such an unusual time. Like, there's always going to be a little bit of an asterisk on the season anyways. Why not go with a one and done, at least within the first couple rounds, and then if in the finals we have a longer series, I'm okay with that, right? I would like to see them try with the abbreviated thing, and then this is going to be a strange year no matter how we look back on it, right? But I don't know if they're going to be able to pull it off.
A couple of things. There's another proposal out there for a play-in tournament where the 7 through 12 seeds would play each other in a tournament in the end of the whenever the year would start up, and then after that play-in tournament, then they would start the playoffs. Ayana, you're an NFL fan. You're a big Seattle Seahawks fan, and this whole pandemic in North America started in Washington State. What do you think of the likelihood of the Seahawks playing in front of fans this year or next year?
I would say probably not. I mean, just because of where it started. I mean, both my mom and my sister are nurses, so they deal with. My sister, has dealt with coronavirus patients, and she even had to get quarantined separately, simply because she started showing symptoms. So I don't think that Seattle's going to be playing at home anytime soon, simply because it's such a prominent aspect of Washington right now. Like, most things are so close. Like, where I'm at, GNC was open, but back home in Washington, it's not open at all. Like, my parents can't go to church. My dad and my mom are still able to work because they're essential, but most things are not open at all. And I don't see it getting open anytime soon until a lot of the cases go down. And based on what I've heard from my sister and my mom, it's probably not.
Hey, Shannon, I know in New York they have a pretty severe lockdown, but there's a difference between the way that what government's telling you and then how the people feel just day to day. What do you think the likelihood of people, if all of a sudden sports teams were allowed to play with fans again, do you think all the fans would go rushing back in New York, or do you think that they're so worried about it that they'd have trouble selling out?
I think it goes back to what we were talking about before. It's stupid people, I feel like people are going to rush out.
TC, she's talking about stupid people. TC, she's talking about stupid people. Get back on here.
We've all been trapped up, and it's we're caged animals now. So of course, once you can get out, you're gonna be like, oh yes. But it's people. I feel like it's gonna be such a scare tactic at the same time, because now you're in this area with all these people, thousands, and then there's a big risk, not just for yourself, but everyone else you care about that's at home. So I feel like it's going to be 50-50. I feel like a lot of people are just going to say, like, fuck it and jump the gun and go for it. And then a lot of people are going to be like, oh my God, I can't leave my house. Let me call Peapod to get some like chicken nuggets, so.
Yeah, definitely. Guys, any of the attendees that are watching this right now, it looks like there's about 700,000 people watching us right now. If you want to ask a question before we're done, raise your hand on there or either type in a question, then I will unmute you and get on there. I'm specifically talking about Yasu Bai. I want Ya to ask a question. I want Miguel Colon. I want Miguel Colon to ask a question. There's some guy named Patrick Sartain. I don't know who the fuck that guy is. What a weird name. He's on there. I want him to ask a question. Rocky Lee, ask a question. You know Patrick? Oh, that CJ. Hey, CJ wants to ask you a question, Patrick. So if you get on there, if you can hear this, definitely get on there. Hold on a second. Candace Harbin, what is this? Oh, you said don't do plastic surgery for anyone but yourself. What was the question there, Candace?
Someone asked if you should do plastic surgery for someone. If someone wants you to do plastic surgery, I mean, I wouldn't do plastic surgery at all to my body unless it was for me.
For someone? Who was asking this question?
You're the one living with that every day. Let me see. I think Justin asked that. No, simply is cosmetic plastic surgery something that ladies would recommend for men who consider themselves not so good looking?
Interesting.
Honestly, we joke around a lot, I feel, but honestly, at the end of the day, like, it doesn't matter how attractive the person is, how much money.
It just matters how much money you make. That's all that matters.
No, it doesn't matter.
That's all that matters to these girls.
Listen,
do you have better cocaine than the next guy? Do you have better cocaine? And then that's all that matters. You really don't have to worry about anything else. Oh, did I say that on the? We're recording this. Fuck, I forgot. My bad. I'm sorry.
No, it matters for personality because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how much money they make. If they run off out of the bedroom and play Fortnite every night, you don't want to stay with them.
Sounds like TC. Sounds like you and me need to get fucking rich.
Indeed.
No,
I
wouldn't do plastic surgery.
You don't have to worry about Matt Basilico, 6'3" Dr. Matt Basilico over there. We don't have to worry about his ass. He'll be fine. He'll just go up to Baltimore and just. Oh, by the way, Andy, Matt Basilico is moving up to Baltimore, so he needs a friend. You can tell him which clubs to stay away from and which neighborhoods. Tell him to stay out of West Baltimore. He doesn't believe me. He wants to get an
where
apartment.
to find the best donuts because I know where to find the best pizza and the best donuts.
Matthew also wants to meet your friend D'Angelo Barksdale and Prospect Joe. He's looking for those two also.
We've all been hanging out, me and D'Angelo. And I gotta stay away from Mike's Rex because
from Stringer Bell. You gotta stay away from Stringer Bell.
Tainted, but on the plastic surgery side for guys, I mean, 2 steps there. One is like if there's something someone feels inadequate about or whatever, I think it is worth considering where that's coming from, right? And a lot of times you do see a big overlap. I'll just say right now between psych and plastic surgery consults, right? And so distinguishing those, is this something where you feel insecure about it, but it's not really an issue? Maybe there's something underlying about, how you feel about yourself, as well as like if it's a general attractiveness question, there's often a lot from a male side, there's a lot of things that you can work on both psychologically, income, etc. That all being said, there are definitely a lot of things that plastic surgeons can do. I have a conflict of interest here. My cousin is a really good plastic surgeon. DeConte Plastics outside DC does some incredible work. But there's a ton of people out there. Like if there's a specific thing that you're worried about, that ultimately it's like, no, this is coming from a real place. It is something that guys do. Certainly.
Just an opposing idea is Jonathan Haidt wrote the book called The Happiness Hypothesis. He talks about 3 things that actually do promote long-term happiness. One of them is, I can't remember the type of psychological training. I forgot, psychiatric training. The other one was beta inhibitors, like Prozac or whatever. And the third one was actually plastic surgery, that there were people who showed long-term increase in happiness from plastic surgery. I'm not telling everybody to go get that. I am telling you to read that book. It's called The Happiness Hypothesis by Jonathan Haidt. Justin, we're going to allow you to talk here, brother. Justin, tell me what was your question? Justin, whenever you want to talk, just come on here and just start talking. Don't just as long as you don't show us anything inappropriate. What was the other questions that we had here?
We simply made a comment that said LeBron James got surgery, and I know that Kurt Busch, since I was working in NASCAR.
Wait, are we talking about his hair? Are we talking about his hair?
His hair.
Yeah. I don't think it's surgery. Have you seen it's like a little thing that he puts on his head over the hairband? Yeah, it's like a little mini. It's a mini. It's sort of like a hair cap. Yeah, I don't think it's surgery.
It's like a little condom.
Kurt Busch 100% got his ears taped back. our guys' ears done. Kurt Busch did. If anyone is a NASCAR fan, Kurt Busch did do that before races. That made him feel
Justin, can you hear us? No, I guess he can't hear us. Okay.
Yeah, my advice simply maybe just save the money and like aim lower. You know.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about. Don't try to talk to girls that are on this call right now. That would be probably the first piece of advice that
like you're talking to the most attractive girl in the bar. Maybe you're like a fifth most attractive girl in the bar kind of guy. You know, like they probably got a lot to say too. You know.
Or
We,
just
does
feed them lots
cool,
of tequila.
man. Like strive for that level.
Yeah.
That's incredible. That is wonderful advice from TC Fleming. Thanks so much. Yeah, he did get plastic surgery for his balding head. I want to know real quick, CJ, what are you making us? What food are you making us, CJ?
Tacos.
Making it tacos. Okay.
Yeah.
Justin, we cannot hear you. Let me see if I can find you real quick, Justin.
I just wanted to chime in since I've had a shit ton of plastic surgery. That when you get plastic surgery, like how the girls were saying, like you should do it for yourself, but you should also know, especially as a guy, you should just expect that people are going to kind of hate on you for that. So don't get plastic surgery thinking everybody's going to be your biggest fan, because especially as a guy, I believe it's more considered like more for girls. So you're going to get hated on either way. So don't get plastic surgery because you think you're not going to get hated on anymore once you.
Yeah, I would definitely make fun of one of my friends if they got it.
Yeah. I feel like honestly, people like, oh, hot girls this, hot girls that. I get hated on. My fucking sister hates me for getting my lips done.
Yeah.
Like,
so just don't think that you're going to get plastic surgery and like nobody's ever going to make fun of you, because it's just like trading one problem for another.
Yeah. People.
Hey, Justin, you should be able to unmute yourself. Justin, unmute yourself. I agree with what you're saying. I think that what CJ's talking about is right. People are going to hate on you no matter what. So I think for guys like me and TC, we got to get rich, take steroids, and then get tattoo sleeves. Matt Basilico doesn't have to do shit. He just has to
get rich and get more cats.
More cats.
Well,
I
got enough tattoos already. But, it also depends on what it is, and how obvious the surgery is going to be, right? If it's I'll just be honest. I mean, there's also heterogeneity in surgeons. There's some incredible surgeons out there that can not only make something look a bit different, but not really make the difference seem that much. So you really have to, like, someone has to reveal that, or you have to tell them. It also does, like, what is the problem we're talking about? If it's a big deformity, a burn, these things, plastic surgery can make a huge difference in someone's life in terms of how they're perceived externally. If it's something that seems small, or that, it seems like a lot of people in your life are saying, no, like, it looks fine, I think that's when I'd start to ask the question of, do you really need this? Or maybe there's some kind of distortion the way that you're thinking about it, and that you might be better off going a different route to think about that particular problem. But I think it really depends on the problem. And that's why I'd say talk to your friends, talk to maybe a GP/psych person about it, and talk to a plastic surgeon. And if they're all saying the same thing, then I'd go in that direction.
Hey, Justin, hold on. Justin, you have a question? What was it? Justin, you muted yourself. There you go. Oh, Justin, got it. Okay, I see you there.
All right, here's my question. So my question is, I'm not sure if you guys already answered it, but what are your reactions when a guy goes up to you and greets you like a pickup line? Do you feel like it's like cheesy? Do you feel like he's trying too hard, or what do you think about that?
What's the pickup line?
It depends on the pickup line.
Yeah. If it's like super and creepy, it's like, oh God, run, panic. But if you're kind of smooth, it's like, all right, cool, homie. Yeah. Like, okay, homie.
Honestly, if you have the courage to come up to any girl in a bar, you deserve credit.
Justin, I guarantee you, if you walked up to some girl with that neck brace on, they would all be like, what's going on? What's your name? They would be like, this guy's got balls. Just make up a story about, listen, man, my last day in Afghanistan, yada, yada, yada. You're good, bro. You're good to go. That's what I would do.
As long as you let us sign it.
Yeah, I think confidence.
Unmute yourself, CJ.
Yeah, she looked like she was just a talking person. It was
so
funny.
CJ, go ahead.
That neck brace is amazing. That is the best pickup line you will ever have. Use that immediately, hands down. Right, like, get off the call and go make a Tinder profile or whatever you need to do now.
With the neck brace.
On. Yes, absolutely.
I agree, totally. Yeah.
1,000%. Yes, and then have cats.
Yeah, have cats. Yeah, CJ's already looking you up on Tinder right now.
All you have to do is just go out with the confidence of some girl. If you have, honestly, if a guy has confidence, I'll talk to you just because of that.
And never approach from the back, always the front. It's creepy to watch from the back.
Avoid the
And
rapist
make
approach.
eye contact.
Avoid the
Eye
back.
contact.
All
Okay.
right,
I mean,
awesome.
if you give me a Bud Light and tell me a corny joke, like I'll play along all day. So
Yeah. You just gotta pay attention. If you pay attention to a girl, that's all she really cares about. If you see she's drinking a vodka cranberry all night and you walk up with a Corona, she's gonna, not the virus, but the beer. she's gonna be like, what the fuck? But if you pay attention to what she's drinking all night and kind of approach her slowly, like girls like shit like that. Girls love sentimental shit. If you see that she's very pink, like compliment her hair, just come up with something that some normal guy wouldn't say, like, oh, let me buy you a drink. Like,
but also see like how her body language is. Like if her body language is really closed off, that's like a no-go. But if she's laughing out loud all night, she seems like she's a fun time. Go up to her, have fun, you know.
Andy
That's what I
Candy, Andy Candy needs a Bud Light. You're like bougie, girl. I didn't know you were bougie like that.
I
You're
love
an
my
expensive,
Bud Light.
expensive date.
advice,
Donuts and a Bud Light? I don't know, man. Might have to take out a loan for that. That's crazy. Bougie girl right there. Incredible. Incredible. All right. Anything else that you guys want to talk about? I am looking forward to talking to you all again soon. All the different stuff we got going on. We have the Last Dance documentary. It's going to be the last 2 weeks coming up. They're talking about bringing back golf, talking about bringing about NASCAR. Next Sunday, the Lakers are going to start practicing. There's a bunch of stuff going on. I don't know if you were aware of this, guys, but there's an election coming up in November. The stock market crashed and came back up. There's just so much going on. Sometimes I wake up and I think I'm in the middle of a blockbuster movie. Is she snorting cocaine? No, CJ Sparks is cooking. She's cooking. She's cooking. My bad. I'm sorry, baby. I thought that you were my sister over there. I was going to have to tell
Doing
mom.
bad shit.
I was going to have to tell mom that you were doing bad stuff. Any other questions from the audience? Miguel Colon. Hold on, Miguel. Miguel, can I get you to ask the question to everybody here?
Hey, what's going on?
What's going on, Miguel?
Michael, I'm a huge fan. So it's great having Mike on the calls. Now, I know you shot me out to ask a question. So with all these beautiful girls, one question that quickly popped up is just everyone's ideal first date. When you first meet a guy, want to get to know him, what will be your ideal first date?
quiet time. I'd like a picnic or something. I'm super into wine and cheese and shit like that, so I'd like something like that. Nothing over the top, just something where you could actually talk. Don't take a girl to don't take a girl to a bar. It's fucking loud. Don't take her to a club. Don't do any of that stuff where it's loud. Actually try to get to know her, in my opinion.
Fair enough. Now, picnic's always a good one. My dad just ordered a picnic bag. It comes with like plates, wine glasses, have a little spot for the wine glass, have a little spot for the blankets. So definitely we'll be sure to implement that ASAP.
And you can do it while quarantine going on. You don't have to make a reservation right now, so it's perfect.
Exactly.
And it's cute and creative.
Getting creative. What was your guys' first best date? That'll be a good question.
My best first date was when I was a little bit younger, and it was probably like the most like nothing went right on like how everything happened. His truck broke down. It was a Ford, so it's all right. You can make fun of it, but it broke down on the way to pick me up. And then when he was able to get started and come pick me up, the dinner reservation that he made was at the wrong restaurant. So we went to the wrong place. And then at this point, I was just ready to be done. And I was like, oh, this sucks. Like, I just wasted my whole night and my hair for this. And he's like, how about I take you somewhere like really like special to me? And so I was like, okay, cool. So he takes me down a back road, and I thought I was going to be dead. So I sent my location to about 20 friends. And he took me to a back road, and it's like perched over top of this hill. So you could just see like the mountains as well as like the valley in Virginia, and it was super duper pretty. And then we just got to see like the stars come out, and then all of like what do you guys call them? You guys call them firebugs, lightning bugs? That's what they call them. Okay.
It sounds
Lightning
like
bugs.
lightning bugs, yeah.
Lightning bugs. And so it was just really cool because I just got to literally sit and just talk to him and like get to know him. And like his guard was down. He wasn't sweating like a donkey anymore, so he didn't smell. Like he was just finally calm and he was in his element. So I really got to see like who he was. And I think that's the most important sometimes, because everybody puts on this facade and what they think that they need to show somebody, when really you just need to know who that person is, not what that person can do. So
Miguel, are you inspired by that?
I am. I'm about
Miguel,
to say the stars.
You're about to go on your first date with a girl? Is that what's going to happen now?
Ideally, it's probably about that time.
I know you've been waiting for marriage. I understand that. Yeah.
Exactly. Christian Mingle's not working out the way I thought it would. So
okay.
Farmers only is great. Farmers only. Farmers only.
Definitely.
Farmers only.
Farmers only work
You
for
have
me.
to own like a little bit of acreage though. Like I've already tried that. You actually have to own a piece of farmland.
To qualify?
To qualify, yeah, they do actually check.
Has a tractor that I can ride on.
Hey, Matt Basilico, Yaksubai is talking shit about you in the chat. You might want to check. You might want to check that out. All right, Miguel. Thank you, brother. Thank you for the question.
Good luck on your date.
Have fun.
Take flowers with you.
Yeah.
I don't think you should take flowers on your first date. You really think you should take flowers on the first date?
Come on,
Yeah,
Michael. You gotta set the bar high. Absolutely.
Just be like, I saw these and they reminded me of you, which is beautiful. Bam! Like you lay that shit on thick like icing on cake.
If she's mentioned her favorite color, try picking up a favorite color. Don't get yellow roses. Those are for sympathy. That means someone died. Don't do that.
Yeah. Or orchids, because apparently I know how to kill them. So
Andy, I told you, girl, use eyes.
I know I did, and you know what, girl? I went out and bought another one, so that way my other one isn't lonely.
Awesome. Ayana, did you have an incredible first date ever?
No.
I like that. I like the honesty there. You just sort of brute forced your way into a boyfriend.
Hold on. Can I please talk for a second? Simply just said flowers is setting the bar high, but you guys want us to fuck you on the first date and y'all. All right, Simply, for that, I'm gonna kick you off the chat.
Oh no.
I'm kidding. But setting the bar high, are you serious? Aren't you trying to impress someone on the first date? Isn't that what you're trying to do? Is impress them?
I'm so dumb. Yeah, I totally go factor on your.
I'm putting my clothes on for this.
Candace got naked for you, and you're not even gonna buy her flowers, bro? What the fuck, dude? What the fuck, dude?
Hey, I broke up with my last boyfriend because I didn't get flowers or cake. This is why we broke up. But Michael, my
I remember
last time in Vegas, we broke up. He didn't even give me
flowers. I remember. You were texting him back and forth, and we told you to get rid of that dude. I remember.
He didn't even come to Masters and get me any butter cake. No.
Oh, that's right. He was there. That's right.
He didn't come to Vegas. He didn't come give me the butter cake. Michael bought me butter cake.
He was front. No, Andy. He was front like he didn't. She acted like
about him too.
She acting like she didn't know that he didn't know that she was there. It was really messed up. It was really messed up. Shannon, did you ever have a bad first date? You were turned sideways though. Shannon is a sideways turned person. She is living in a different dimension. That's fine. You don't have to turn it back. I don't really guess it's fine. Shannon, do you have a really cool first date experience? Okay, I don't think Shannon can hear us. It's fine. We'll just sit there and look at Shannon, and everything will be awkward. All right, guys. Are there any other questions? Man, we are 42 minutes over, but this is cathartic for me because otherwise I'm just gonna play Warzone for the next 3 hours. But if you guys have any if you guys have any other questions, Miguel asked ideal first date. Shannon, can you hear us? Oh, she's almost there. In the mail right now.
Before you log off today, make sure you go check out our new VIP membership that we have for you guys.
Yes, can you show us that? Candace, can you show us the VIP? Because TC wanted to sign up for the VIP. Can you show us the new
I was
VIP?
going to sign up for the VIP.
Come on, for sure. Make sure you're swiping under Candace when you go in there. I'm kidding. Okay, guys, VIP access only gives you access to talk to the models. We've heard of OnlyFans, but we keep our clothes on, except for me tonight, apparently. Make sure you're signing in and signing up for the VIP. You get to talk with us exclusively, chat with us, kind of like you did tonight, where we'll bring you in. We're an exclusive account instead of the normal membership. Again, remember, Mondays are free for the Sports Night Talk because we know they're your favorites. Make sure you're going on hookedonfashionlive.com, making your donations to help the provision packs for pantries and the families affected by the coronavirus. Just go under models. You meet all of us here. Go down, fill out the donation form right at the bottom after you look at all the beautiful, lovely girls. And yeah, VIP is more fun. So make sure you're logging onto that every week and watching us every Monday on Sports Talk with Michael Sartain.
Rocky, you had a question?
Oh, so my question is, what is the most creative intro some guy has come up to you with, or the most cringiest?
Hey, Hooked on Fashion, I think we may need to change this to a dating dating Mondays, sports and dating Mondays. We can do that if you want. I'm down with that. Okay, what was the creative intros? Candace, go. I got one. Hey, I played for the Portland Trailblazers. That's a creative intro. You like that? Does that one work?
Started with the magic.
Is that creative? Okay, go ahead.
No, the most cheesiest, stupidest one I got recently. If Corona doesn't take you out, can I?
There you go, man. Because it's fun to talk about death right as you're approaching somebody. That's good. I hope you don't die from some respiratory problem. Come on, man. That's a great no.
And
I
if
don't know
you
about that.
don't, can I please take you to dinner?
That was crazy.
I'd rather have gotten the coronavirus, but thanks.
Andy sent me a really incredible meme this morning that I think would have been. Andy, do you remember the meme?
Which one?
The one where it's like, you remind me of coronavirus, and she goes, "Why? Because I take your breath away," and he goes, "No, because you seem fake."
Yeah, that was pretty good. The cringiest one that I've gotten recently is, "Hey, I'm out of prison now. Want to chat?" That's been the cringiest one for me lately.
That's a real life one. You got a real life one like that, didn't you?
That's a real life one.
You got a real life prison one.
Yeah, no, I have like sadists. I have a sadist that like worships the devil that literally makes satanic like curses that he wants to put on me, and he's created so many accounts. I know, I'm surprised Instagram keeps on letting him make a new one, but this has been going for years.
Candace is asking, somebody's asking, is Candace really naked? Kim is asking that, and Candace is indeed naked. Yep, she is. There you go. There she is.
What do you think? It's an optical illusion. You guys choose.
Before we go, hold on, let me see here. We have another question here. Okay, he's looking for a girl with a strong immune system. That was a good yes. That's a good one, Miguel. That's awesome. Any more questions that you guys have, man? This has been a lot of fun. This is turned into kind of a mess, which is what I like. This is the way we like to do it. Okay, something crazy. There's some words there. I heard somebody say something. Well, we lost CJ. Did she finish cooking? She might have burned down the kitchen. That might have been what happened. Rocky, anyway.
Someone send help.
Rocky, once again, thank you for your question. And like we said before, guys, if you want to go ahead and sign up, this is our free call that we do on Mondays. If you guys want to sign up for Hooked on Fashion and watch them all week, on the bikini competition that we do on Fridays is lit. It's awesome. I definitely would recommend going and watching that. If I wasn't hosting it, I would be watching it. It's a lot of fun. And then next week we're gonna do Sports Talk. We might be doing Sports Talk Monday. We might be doing something else. I'm not sure. But on Thursdays we have game night. On Wednesdays we have Wine Down Wednesdays, where Candace drinks wine. And no, wait, who else? What's her name? Victoria drinks wine. Victoria.
I drink wine every night, Michael.
Yeah, okay, there you go. She drinks wine every day to deal with you hoes. That's what she's talking about, men. Because men ain't shit, right? That's what she said. All right, so we love having you guys there. Andy Candy, thank you for coming and joining us.
Love you, Andy.
Everybody.
Thank you, Andy. You're the best. You're awesome. Matthew Basilico, thank you for being sexy. Don't listen to the shit that Ya was talking shit about you on the chat. Make sure you ignore that.
Or Matthew, I love you.
There you go, Matthew.
Thank you.
There you
Love
go.
you too,
I think
Dennis.
you got a new follower on your new Instagram, Matthew.
We do. Matt and I follow each other. We're homies. We're tight.
That's awesome. Ayana, thank you, and go ahead and eat a carb. You can have one carb. You can have one, girl. It's fine. No, you can't hear me? Okay, hopefully you can. And Shannon, thank you for joining. Hey, Shannon, thank you for toughing it out with us. I can't imagine what it's like being in there in New York. You're actually in New York. What borough are you in? Are you Manhattan?
I'm actually out of the city, thank God. I was stuck in the city for a little bit. I got flown into New York on the 12th of March for work until the 18th, and then LOL, the world stopped on pause. So I've been up here since. So I'm out of that nonsense now, but hopefully back to palm trees soon. But
there we go. That's nice. TC, where can we find you?
It's Just Banter. It's a popular podcast. Many people like it.
Yes, it's actually my favorite podcast, the It's Just Banter podcast. If you guys want to check that out. If you want to talk about things like, hey, just curious, TC, did Epstein kill himself?
Definitely not. Is he even dead?
Epstein might not even be dead. So that's important that we discuss that on It's Just Banter if you guys are interested in learning more than that. And then Candace, did we get to you? Candace, thank you so much for joining me and telling us about your experiences. You're the best. We'll talk after this. We're going to plan a Vegas trip here pretty soon.
Oh, I'm
Guys,
coming to Vegas.
you're coming to Vegas. Dude, just don't even trip. Just come now. Don't even worry about
I
it.
have an N95 mask. I'll be fine.
You have an N95 mask? Okay.
I have an N95 mask and some gloves. All I need is some Astro cake. Sorry, Matthew. I know you're cringing at this rate.
Sorry.
Love you guys.
Baltimore disease-free.
We will see you guys next week. Make sure that you join us right here. You can check us out on Hooked on Fashion Live. We're going to be doing Zoom calls all week. And Candace almost showed a nipple. So be careful. Candace almost showed a nipple right there. You almost missed it. All right, guys.
In the room.
Your parents are there.
I know.
Oh my
I told them I'm visiting for Mother's Day. I got to go.
All right, guys. Take care. We will see you guys next week right here on Hooked on Fashion Live. Everybody wait. Blow a kiss. TC, blow a kiss. Matthew, blow a kiss. Andrea, turn your camera on. Blow a kiss so it goes really quick. No, we can't get a kiss.
No, I'm okay. Thank you, though.
All right, take care, guys. See you next week.